What's up, my dudes? In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make your own spell candles. Now, by default, these are usually the candles that I suggest for beginners because they're very easy to get and they're also pretty easy to use. All you need is the candle itself. You can sprinkle some herbs or essential oils over top of it and then you'll be done. But what we're going to be doing is taking these off, and these we could either keep if we want to remold these. I'm not really going to be worrying about that. I'm just going to burn the candle. But this is what you're looking for. So you're going to take this. If it has the metal thing off, you can take it off, or you can just wait till it's melted off, and also the wick. Now I have a set that comes with the bottoms and the wick on it, so I'm not going to worry about recycling these. But if you do need to recycle them, just make sure you do it when it's melted so you don't rip the wick and it doesn't mess up the bottom of this. So to start, you're going to need a pot. You don't really need to have a pot. It's just what I'm using for the video. So in your pot, you're going to need to do a double boil, which basically means you have water boiling in the bottom and then you have some dish on top. I'm going to be using this just because it fits. But you want a relatively airtight seal. You don't need to make sure it's completely, but just a little bit so the heat would focus on here. And because this is going to be double boiling and I don't want to put the wax directly in this, what I'm actually going to be doing is basically a triple boil. So I'm going to have water boiling in there, and then in this. You can either have this in whole, or if you have a larger candle and you want to melt this down, you could just stick this directly in the bottom, wait for it to melt down a little bit, pour it into something like this so it's easier to portion out, and then that's the way you can do it. The way I'm going to be focusing on is like I just said, but this is a dish that I got from working in a restaurant. I don't know what you can use that's similar, but this is just something that I used to use on the stove multiple times a day, so it's very resistant to heat, and also you can melt wax in it. Has this little pour spout to make it easier for you. Has a handle. Make sure you don't burn yourself if you're not used to hot, but this is just a good thing to use if you are going to be having this. You can just directly pour it from the double boil into this, but that'll make a bit more mess. And this is very good for if you're doing this a lot or if you have multiple candles. Okay, so now that it's done, you can see all the wax is melted. And you just fill them up. These are not the exact height of these smaller ones, so you will have to fill it up less, but you still should get a good amount. Yeah, I put too much in the first two, but the 6 candles got 5, and these are decently large. So just leave this to dry. If you want to, you can sprinkle some herbs into this, make it enchanted, but if not, just leave it to dry, and then put on the back parts to the candle, and then you're done.